For decades, Toyota has made some of the top off-road trucks in the world. And we've had a lot of really good seat time and a number of them over the years, but one that we really hadn't had much experience in yet was the redesigned version of the Toyota Tundra full-sized pickup, or more specifically, its off-road versions. Well, that has changed. This is the new 2022 Tundra TRD Pro. It's their top off-road model of the new Tundra pickup truck. It's got the iForce Max twin-turbo V6 hybrid powertrain. It's got all the off-road bits that you'd expect with a TRD Pro model. Well, we've come out here to Hollyoaks Off-Road Park, just north of suburban Detroit, here in beautiful summery Michigan, to drive the new TRD Pro. Here's what we think about it. Toyota has been building some of the best off-road vehicles for decades. I mean, all you need to do is look around the world and see how they're being used in all corners of the planet, usually in places where there's more dirt than pavement, and it's not hard to see why. It's just so immensely capable. Now, this being the TRD Pro, this is the top off-road version of the Tundra, and it's got all the bells and whistles and all the systems you need to go off-road, and it does it really well. The ride is actually pretty decent as well. Thankfully, these big off-road knobby tires are absorbing a lot of the punishment. The TRD Pro only comes with one powertrain. That is the iForce Max hybrid twin-turbo V6. And you are certainly not going to lack for power or responsiveness. Even in just regular four-wheel drive high, without selecting anything weird or unusual in the multi-terrain selector, it's perfectly workable and does really well off-road. For smaller hills, you really don't need to engage 4 low. 4 high is perfectly fine. And you've got plenty of traction from these all-terrain tires. No sweat, no problem, and a lot of fun. And you can get some decent speed going on some of this rougher terrain, but this is not a Ford Raptor or a Ram TRX. This is a more slow speed kind of off-road truck. And that is also perfectly fine. You see, because according to Toyota, fully 1/3 of you people out there are doing some hardcore off-roading in your Tundras, which is a pretty high percentage. More of you actually go off-road. Something on the order of like 50 to 60% use these vehicles as off-road vehicles, but for the hardcore folks, 35% according to Toyota. And that's the boulder crawlers, the rock crawlers, people who are doing some serious kinds of off-road work with them. And I have to admit, they've created something right out of the factory that should satisfy a lot of people's needs. The iForce Max powertrain is really nice. It's easy to modulate. You're never waiting for the power to kick in. Being a turbocharged engine, sometimes that can be a problem, but not with this. Now, you can credit the hybrid portion of the powertrain for that, because the hybrid system in this powertrain is actually sandwiched in between the engine and the transmission. So it allows for direct drive electrically of the rest of the driveline. And on the road, in certain conditions, that's great for boosting your fuel economy, but it can also be a performance enhancer as well. But it's just seamless. It's effortless. And it sounds good too, although I half suspect some of that noise might be piped in, because it sounds a little too good to be true. When you can't hear a lot of wind or road noise, but you can hear very specific engine notes, that's a good sign that you're listening to a soundtrack and not necessarily the actual pipes from the vehicle itself. Now, yes, this is a very wide vehicle. It's a full-size pickup truck. It's easily as big as anything from a domestic brand, maybe even a little bit bigger, but it still has no problem being nimble down these trails. You've got really good wheel articulation. You've got really good damping over some rougher terrain. It does beep at me a lot, I've noticed. And for downhill sections like this, well, we are going to put her in 4 low. And everything's going to yell at me and beep and blurp and good to go. And with a downhill grade like this, as long as you're in low gear, not a problem. Now, there are some electronic modes that you can also use, but frankly, I like doing it manually. And it's not that I don't trust the electronics, but I think it's just a lot more fun to use your foot and your butt to figure out what the truck is doing, instead of just pushing a button, letting it do it all by itself. That's cruise control. That's almost autonomous driving. I don't want to do that. Not when I'm playing in the dirt. When I'm driving 200 miles across country, across the state, yeah, that'd be great. But self-driving on trail? Nah, I'm good doing this the old-fashioned way. Toyota's multi-terrain monitor really is helpful for situations like this, where you're going up something super steep and you're basically staring at the sky, but you still need to know where you're going. Well, that's where the camera helps. The two little yellow lines are where your wheels are pointing, and they change when you're changing the steering wheel direction. So it helps you see all kinds of obstacles over the hood that you can't see over the hood yourself. And when you're going downhill as well, it helps you see obstacles to either side of the vehicle, like that big pink rock over there that I don't want to hit. And I won't, because I can see where it is on the camera monitor. That is actually really useful. Now, this being the TRD Pro, it does come with a standard rear locking differential. There's a button on the dash you push in order to lock that rear, and it's great for going up loose terrain that also happens to be steep terrain, just like this. So, come to a stop, push the locker button, wait for the light to go solid, and then just some constant pressure and speed up the hill. Everything yelling at you, beeping for some reason, but no loss of traction, no loss of momentum. Just loss of lunch. Nice. If you do want to let the truck do some of the driving, or at least to make some of the decisions for you in terms of how the truck is being set up, there is the multi-terrain select system. It's a little knob down here on the center console, and it allows you to change between a number of different settings. Right now I've got it in dirt because I'm driving over dirt, but if we had some deep mud, if we had some rocks, well, it wouldn't be a big deal. The TRD Pro package has a number of really useful bits on it to help you survive going off-road. The underbody protection is particularly interesting. It's not made of metal, it's made of nylon reinforced fiberglass. So you can hit it, it's not going to dent, and it doesn't rust either. So unlike normal underbody protection that's made of steel, when you hit it, it'll dent, it'll rust, eventually. It won't provide as much protection as it did previously. But that's not an issue in this vehicle. And all of the underbody protection is made out of this stuff. So overall, this new TRD Pro really is a lot of fun and very impressive. Kind of makes me wonder what Toyota could create if they did decide to make a Raptor fighter. They certainly have a strong enough base for it. If you'd like to learn more about the new 2023 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro or any of Toyota's off-road trucks, you can learn everything you need to know at Cars.com.